In this video, we're going to look at some exam style questions of standard form. And also in this video, I'm going to show you how to use a calculator to solve standard form questions. So let's take an example. A spaceship traveled for 6 times 10 to the power of 2 hours at a speed of 8 times 10 to the power of 4 kilometers per hour. Calculate the distance traveled by the spaceship. Give your answer in standard form. So what we're going to do for a question like this is say, well, we know from maths and physics that the formula for speed is distance divided by time. And we can also say from this triangle that the distance is speed times time. So we're going to use this in this problem. So we want to calculate the distance. So the distance according to this triangle is speed times time. And the speed we know is 8 times 10 to the power of 4. Multiplied by the time taken. Now the time's in hours, so that's fine. Times 6 times 10 to the power of 2. Now we've done a question like this in one of my previous videos. So we're going to do 8 times 6, which is 48. And we can do the powers. 10 to the power of 4 times 10 to the power of 2 will give me 10 to the power of 6. And we said that this would be the same as 48 times 10 to the power of 6. And we could write 48 as the following: 4.8 times 10 to the power of 1. And then we could replace 48 with 4.8 times 10 to the power of 1. And we also need to include times 10 to the power of 6. So the final solution we'll get is 4.8 times 10. Don't forget to add the powers. 1 plus 6 gives me 7. And don't forget the units. It's kilometers because we're talking about distance. Then it says 1 month an aircraft traveled 2 times 10 to the power of 5 kilometers. So the next month the aircraft traveled 3 times 10 to the power of 4 kilometers. Calculate the total distance traveled by the aircraft in the 2 months. So what we're going to do for a question like this is to write out what this is as an ordinary number. So 2 times 10 to the power of 5 is basically 2 and 5 zeros. So we get 200,000. And then we're going to have 4 zeros and a 3. So if I was to add these up, I will get a 0, a 0, a 0, a 0, a 3, and a 2. So I get 230,000. Here's another example. So here's a typical question that we're going to use a calculator to solve this question. So we've got a formula that y squared is equal to ab divided by a plus b. We've been given that a is 3 times 10 to the power of 8. B is 2 times 10 to the power of 7. We need to find y, given our answer in standard form, correct to 2 significant figures. Okay, so let's substitute the values in. So we can say y squared is a, which is 3 times 10 to the power of 8, times 2 times 10 to the power of 7. On the denominator, we're going to have 3 times 10 to the power of 8, which is a, plus 2 times 10 to the power of 7. Now what I'm going to do is, to make our life easier, I'm going to square root everything because we need y. So it's the square root of all of this. So it's 3 times 10 to the power of 8 of 3 times 10 to the power of 8 times 2 times 10 to the power of 7, all divided by 3 times 10 to the power of 8 plus 2 times 10 to the power of 7. And we can work out y to two significant figures. So now I'm going to use a calculator to show you how to solve this question. So the first thing we ought to do is tell the calculator we need to be in standard form. So I'm going to press Shift, Menu. I'm going to choose option 3 for the number format. Now we need to choose scientific mode, which is option number 2. And because the question says give your answer in standard form, correct to two significant figures, we can do the same thing on our calculator by writing in 2. So automatically the answer will be displayed in two significant figures in standard form. So we're going to press the square root button, we're going to press the fraction button and type in exactly what we have there, 3 times 10 to the power of 8 multiplied by 2 times 10 to the power of 7, and then we're going to have 3 times 10 to the power of 8, and then we're going to have plus 2 times 10 to the power of 7. Close the brackets there, and we can get our answer as 4.3 times 10 to the power of 3. So we get 4.3 times 10 to the power of 3. Here's a question for you to try. You can pause the video, and when you're done, I will go through my work solution. Okay, welcome back. So what we've got here is the square root of p plus q divided by p times q. So we've got x equals, draw square root sign. So we've got 4 times 10 to the power of 8 plus 3 times 10 to the power of 6 divided by the product. 4 times 10 to the power of 8 times 3 times 10 to the power of 6. So we've got everything written down. So now we can type this into our calculator. Press the square root, the fraction button. 4 times 10 to the power of 8. Close the brackets, put a plus. Then we're going to have 3 times 10 to the power of 6. Close the brackets. Now press the down cursor to come down to underneath the fraction. 4 times 10 to the power of 8 times 3 times 10 to the power of 6. Now I can press equals and I get 5.8 times 10 to the power of minus 4. So x equals 5.8 times 10 to the power of minus 4. Here's another question for you to try. You can pause the video, and when you're done, I will go through my work solution. Okay, welcome back. So the average speed of a plane is 2.3 times 10 to the power of 7 meters per hour. How long will it take to travel a distance of 4.6 times 10 to the power of 8 meters? So we draw our triangle, speed, distance, time. Speed is distance divided by time, and distance is speed times time. But the question's asking for how long it will take, so we need the time, and time is distance divided by speed. Now in our case, our distance is 4.6 times 10 to the power of 8 meters, and we're dividing that by the speed, which is 2.3 times 10 to the power of 7 meters per hour. So we have dealt with questions like this, so we can do 4.6 divided by 2.3, which is 2. And then we can do 10 to the power of 8 divided by 10 to the power of 7, which is 10 to the power of 1. So we get 2 times 10 to the power of 1. Well, 10 to the power of 1 is 10, so we do 2 times 10. So the time would be 20. And don't forget, it's hours, so it's 20 hours would be the answer.